Good morning, world. I'm sitting in a magical spot. I woke up this morning with the inclination, the idea, and the wanting to do a video, create some value. Now, originally I want to sit on the beach, but there's a fair bit of wind, there's a fair bit of swell, but this is just squall out there on the cliffs. Coastline down there. This is magic. So what a backdrop, what a perfect place to do a video and share with you some value. Before I continue, please people, remember this, and this may stem on through this video here, that what you're willing to do and not willing to do are actually the same thing. What you will don't and will not, what you won't do and will do are the same thing. Okay, everything, whether it's directly related to you or not, involves you in some shape or form. Now, how does that work? Well, it works on how you connect yourself to circumstances and situations through your mentality. Okay? A big shout out to Michael J. Fit, a brother from another mother, as you may say, and a person who I've connected with on a pretty personal and emotional level to some degree. So I appreciate your time, brother. Mr. Michael J. Fit, go check him out. Other men who deserve an honorable mention to shaping my mentality, okay, and to a degree confirming the mentality and the belief and the concepts that were already germinating inside of me, but yet had a voice. That makes sense, okay? It wasn't out there. One is a big thank you to Arash, motherfucker, Sapar, D-Bazaar, okay? Brian Casella, or Mr. BC, and to Yogi Chris, Mr. Christy Philbus. Also, Vince Calvin, to some degree, but mainly Arash, Brian, and Chris. And then there's myself. I need to thank myself, okay? Because what you consume is very, very important. And I'm talking about not just organically, what you consume from a food and nutritional basis. Well, that's extremely important. And I can account for the lack of doing that and for making that a priority and bettering it. So I can account for the two takes on that. Oh man, this is just freaking amazing. This is superb. Anyway, I did a little video before, and I'll leave a link to it. It'll have all the fancy music. Here I just want to talk to you all some ideas about compromises, decisions and choices, and are we really making the correct or the more beneficial decisions, choices and compromises with what we're doing and what we're consuming, because that's where I was going before that wave distracted me. And that's the other thing, what are we allowing to distract us? Okay, so there's bits and pieces in this video, so take out of it what relates to you. And first we'll do consumption. Obviously there's stuff going on at the moment in the mainstream and in general society, revolving a lot of consumption of things, and it's borderline ridiculous. I mean, for example, here's a really good example. There's rain out there, there's storm clouds. And this is how I perceive it. Right now, if you look out there, there's potential. Well, it's raining. It's a squall. It's a sea storm or rain. Now, just because I can see that, does that mean I need to go buy a kayak, start building a dam around my fucking property? Dam wall, or blowing up car tires, or tying water bottles to my house and buying raincoats and umbrellas and mud boots because I might get wet? A lot of people would say, don't be so silly. If it rains, it rains. You know, you have what you have. So yes, there's the preparedness, there's the precautions. But then there's also the idiocracy and the stupidity. And my favorite is when certain people are calling other people idiots for saying a lot of stuff is staged and it's pre-organized and it's all constructed. And if you think that isn't possible or that's not the case, then potentially you're the one who's the idiot and you're the one with all the idiocracies. Ladies and gentlemen, there's bodies that govern other bodies. Let's not be so naive about that, please. We're living in a structured society. Money is part of that structure. So think about what you're consuming, okay? Just think about that. What is going on has been here before, ladies and gentlemen. This is nothing new. So to get caught up in all this chaos right now, and I won't even mention it because you know what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to give that any more power than what it needs, what it already has. Fuck that shit. And from there we'll go into this. What are you giving power to in your reality? What we say, what we speak, what we think is our own internal magic. Now, I've mentioned this before and I'll say it again. You need to realize that your imagination is the elixir to all that we create in our reality. So in the beginning of the video I said everything that is and is not, somewhere along the line we all contributed to a being, whether we are in the direct stimulus of that or not, we all contribute to it. Whatever's going on in our reality. So if your reality is chaotic and it could be to do with political issues or other issues, right? The more you feed that and give that power, you're actually contributing to the ripple effect of that affecting your own reality. Does that make sense to you? Speak it, think it, believe it, feel it, and so shall it be. You understand that? A lot of the times, all that is a result of all that we think and do. It is to a degree very black and white, very simplistic. There's complexities in the simplicities and simplicities in the complexities. And we're going to go on a bit. This video will go on a little bit. It's free flow. I need to release and get this out to you all for you all to begin realizing where are your choices and decisions making you, and are your compromises, even though there may be a lack in a certain compromise, is it allowing you and positioning you to actually gain more? Let's look at something here. Okay, so the weight loss usually it works a lot, and I'm going through that transition again, because it comes down to practices. The moment you stop doing practices that are beneficial to you, you get a lack of. Okay, a lack of fitness, a lack of mental stability, a lack of emotional stability, mental and intellect heightened. All of these things become a lack of when you avoid the practices that enhance that. So if you're working out and you've been doing it for a few months and you start to gain momentum, your clothes, you're looking better in clothes, you get to buy better clothes because you don't have to buy everything that's just so plain and large, right? And you're walking around like you don't have any money because your clothes are plain. That really sucks. And I notice that when I go shopping. And I'm going to get a shirt that says I work for my fucking money and I pay for my fucking things, so back the fuck up. And I might use emojicons instead of the swearing, because that is pretty abrasive to wear something like that in public. But that's definitely the message I'd like to put out, because I get the vibe from staff in shopping centres and that I'm at a low level and I might be stealing things, and I don't like that feeling. So I might do a little social experiment. Definitely GoPro is coming in on the way. And back to compromises and sacrifices. Certain luxuries that you may have in your life, do you really fucking need them? Now, whether you do or do not, whether they just make you feel good, that's okay. Why not? We're in a materialistic world, I understand that. Yet, if you're in a constant situation where you're complaining about being in a lack of, then you need to look at what you have and what you don't have, and where are you making the compromises to have those certain things that you really do need. Okay? So I've taken on the urban nomad, the nomadic lifestyle, and yes, I still work. I'm self-employed. I do subcontract cleaning work, and I'm also reconnected with Yogi Chris, which I'll be offering my skill sets, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time and be connected to something that's bigger than me, and I've got in at just above ground level, okay, and I'm very grateful for that. But you got to be willing to make some compromises, some sacrifices. We go back to being, if you're caught up in too much luxury and you're still not satisfied, then what does that mean? Is you're not doing exactly what you truly want to be doing. There's so many people, you see the stories where they sell up their beautiful homes, their beautiful apartments, and they go buy a van and they go ticket to, and they are so fucking happy people because they're more in line with the nature that's within them. And that's what we need to promote. When we're walking around this earth and we're all wondering, hey, what's my purpose? What's my passion? The passion needs to be you. The purpose needs to be you. That's your purpose. Let's just start with that. Enhancing your life to its greatest. Becoming fit, becoming strong, having great health. Focus on vitamins and nutrition. Focus on everything you can do that contributes to you being in synergy and harmony with Earth, with the planet. Okay? Yes, like I said, I understand we're in a modern society. You've got to be part of that society because of the rules and laws and legislation, which, really is all just man-made. So it's up to you if you want to agree with it or not. But there's those consequences, and unfortunately that's just how it is, majority rule. But you can find your peace amongst that. You can find your glory amongst all of that. And it's going to come in different forms, and it's going to come in different definitions. So avoid trying to fit in with the nature within you, the song within you. Woo! Holy shit, this fucking massive wave just come through. That was fantastic. I love it. Get out there, people. As Ralph Smart says, breathe in that good ass fucking prana. Can I get a hello there? Tune in to people who bring you benefit. Tune in to people who make you smile. Tune in to people who make you think and stimulate your thinking. Challenge and change your belief systems for the benefit. Okay, there's a difference between being con to a degree, but you've got to be an adult about stuff. Okay, you've got to use your brain. So enhance your brain. Find the medium, because sometimes what you're looking for is fucking right there in front of you. And I'll give you an example. So nice. All the information that I've ever really needed was always there in a few people. Arash, Brian and Chris, which all are students of Arash anyway. And before Arash came along, or before I even became aware of Arash, through one of his videos, says warning, when he studies video, warning, this may improve your intellect, something along those lines. So I thought it was very clever. And he had the beard. It looked like he was just shooting from his office at home. But what he was saying was just resonating with what I was already thinking within myself. So when you come across these people, tune in. You don't need to agree with everything that they say or everything that they do, but when they speak how they think and their concepts, and you can also see an evolution in them, pay attention, because there's going to be a ripple effect and a benefit, side benefit to that, a byproduct of your own evolution when you contribute and put in the actions and apply the information and apply the knowledge. That's how it all comes together. That's how all this comes together. I said to Chris, I was on a little clarity call with Chris this morning. So once again, Chris DeFilbus, thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. I do have a skill set and I do have some knowledge, and I've been reluctant to put it out into play because of the recognition factor. So you may hear me speak and you might like, oh, who is this guy, just sitting on a cliff with his little fishing jacket on, never seen you before. You look at my videos, you don't have very many views, you don't have many likes, so already you're like pre-qualifying what I'm saying is not valid potentially, but it's 100% fucking valid. I've got a lot of information that I speak that can change your reality, that can improve you as a person on many levels. And I'm not the only one. Okay, there's plenty of people out there, but this is the thing. You've got to look a little beyond the facade, the makeup, the front garden, so to speak. Okay? The way someone dressed, it does have a certain correspondence. But there's people out there that I come across, their hygiene, it's not the best, or this. They're smart people, okay? They're worldly people. They've had some crazy fucking life, and just something stung them, and they let that be their end, which is, unfortunate. You got to rise above that. So wherever you are, whoever you are, what is ever going on, just ask yourself a question. Okay, what was it that I did or did not do that contributed to this reality existing right now, these circumstances? Once you do that, there will be a shift. There will be a huge shift, because you're taking ownership of who you are. You're taking ownership of what's in front of you. Okay, so what's in front? Let's have a look. Now that's in front of me. Why? Yes, because of the planet and nature. But I made a decision to drive here. I walked down the track. I sat on this stone. I pressed record on this video. And that's how it is. The sequences of actions, consequences, confirmed sequences. That's how you could look at it. What is a consequence? It is a composition of sequences that all gather together with an end result. Boom. So I'm going to enjoy this view. Have a look in the link down below. Be a little composition of photos and a little video and some cool beats, and I may put some audio over it from this video. But before I go, leave you on this lengthy video, whether you're watching the full version or the edited version. The takeaway from this is this: what are you consuming on all levels? Are you being conscious about it? And are you removing that which really doesn't feed the greater you? When you start doing that, you make space and things will resurface and reappear that will get in your attention, that will bring you a benefit. You may have watched a video, maybe it's Tony Robbins, we'll just use the word Tony Robbins, and you sort of went off and you started getting caught up in the mainstream and all the bullshit and all the memes and just led yourself astray. And then you begin to make the conscious effort, like, I'm tired of this shit, I'm getting rid of it, I'm going to look after my health, drink more water, start walking. As soon as you do these things and make space, you create a frequency, and then that video that you watched maybe months ago reappears. And you're like, wow. So is it that it's meant to be, or that it just is in that moment because you changing your moments and you're changing your energy and you're changing your frequency and you're changing your direction, and simply all you've done is got yourself back on the path? So you watched that video, you went astray, you went all over the fucking place, and then you came back. There's a universal, there's a cosmic council out there, and when you shut the fuck up and you make silence your loudest noise, you'll hear a lot more and you'll see a lot more. Okay? Please think, people. Please wake the fuck up. Realize that we're all contributors and co-creators, and we all have the ability to stimulate our nature by working on our inner nature, because what is within is also without. So peace, people. Goodness to you all. Be great, be fucking good, be fucking brilliant. Learn self-mastery, because when you learn to master yourself, you learn to master your life. Cheers. We'll just go for 24 minutes.